What have I been up to? Dana and I just got back from 7 days in the Redwoods and the Oregon coast. And so while I'm working on that video, of course, I shot video while we were on the trip with our friends Jay and Kate. There was a lot of things that happened on that trip. Hopefully I've thrown a couple clips in here of some funny stuff, but leave it to say we got down there and first couple days there was like 5 inches of rain. And as a result, we had a couple failures on the Casita. Not as big of failures as they did on their truck cap, where they normally sleep in the bed of the pickup, but the Casita sprung a leak. There's some kind of dicey, or what I recognized as kind of either poor workmanship in the caulking on the windows. It appears like the window has a gasket from the factory that I'm going to research and try to get replaced. But as it stands, I guess passenger side corner of the trailer got wet, and when it's raining and bucketing down like that, that's not ideal. And honestly, we might have let that go for months or years because Dana and I typically are fair weather campers, so this was an awesome test. But while I try to cut that footage into some cohesive, I don't know, storytelling, because I'm not much of a travel dude in retelling the story, let me come up with some ideas on that. I thought I'd at least publish this video to let you know, A, we got back, B, we were in fact using the Casita, and C, there were some troubles. But there was also some upsides, which is the Casita's just big enough that the people we were camping with were tent camping at one point. We rented a cabin at another point because it was just so much rain and so hard to deal with. So we had to deal with some unforeseen circumstances. We had a great time nonetheless. Everybody had kind of a positive outlook, which I think you need to have in these sort of just thrown together. We had made plans months ago to take this trip. We went to the Redwoods during, it's a shoulder season, it's early March. So we went to the Redwoods, checked that out. Then our last couple days were spent on kind of the central Oregon coast, also in bad weather. But we made it the full 7 days. Again, Dana and I didn't have that tough of a trip in that, in spite of the leaks, I put a Gorilla Tape. By the way, carry Gorilla Tape with you because that stuff is miraculous. It actually stuck to the side of the wet trailer. But anyway, so Dana and I were very comfortable. The upside to the Casita that was super cool is if you're traveling with somebody and you need a community space, you can fold that rear bed right up into a dinette and the 4 of us could eat and kind of hang out and have a dry spot to congregate, if you will. The other cool thing is the furnace operated no issues. The tiny, if you own a Casita, you know what I'm talking about. You have like a little deep cycle battery that's like this big. That thing ran the trailer for 4 or 5 days, and then we towed it for 2 or 3 hours and then ran for another 2 days with us running intermittently, running the furnace, running the 12-volt lighting system, just any water pump, that sort of thing. We didn't shower on this trip. We stayed at a campground, which was another kind of joke in that none of us have camped in a campground in decades. But anyway, we stayed in a campground, Jedediah Smith State Park in Northern California, which had showers. So we didn't even worry about taking showers in the trailer. There was way more upside and benefit to the trailer than I anticipated. The car towed it great. The 4Runner, you're not going to win any drag races in the thing, but it was competent in towing it. It was very kind of responsive, and the brake controller worked. All that stuff worked. So don't let me end on a down note would be my thing. It was a great vacation. It was a wonderful test drive, and I think we all had a great time. But the trailer, in spite of a couple issues, the idiot that mounted the awning on the trailer, which would be me, didn't use a level to level the back plate. And so the awning kind of tips, like let's say this is the side of the trailer. The awning doesn't deploy with kind of a downward angle. It goes kind of upward. Well, during gale force winds, that's not ideal. Also, running the water back into the trailer may have contributed to some of our torrential downpour, right into the gutter of the window. I'm actively doing research. look for a video this week or next week or whatever. I'm going to be recaulking these windows in the very short near term, because there's a lot of other modifications I wanted to make to the trailer based just on this trip. However, I need to fix what's broken first. Let's get to that. But as always, I appreciate you tuning in, spending a couple minutes with me. Again, you know, I have a much longer video. I hope to publish either 1 or 2 parts later this week or next week. But I did want to have something to kind of upload. I took a couple shots here just of the caulking I'm talking about. The other thing I did is, you'll notice, if you can kind of look over my right shoulder, there's a lot more space between the building. And right above us, you'll notice that this roof is peaked. I took that massive, what's it called, a max air vent off the top of the trailer to allow me to kind of shuffle it that way a little bit more, to allow us more access to the trailer. Fortunately, the window I need to repair is at the rear of the trailer on this side, as well as the rear window. And again, I'll publish something. Maybe I'll make a short or something if and when I can find the appropriate window gaskets for this Casita. Failing that, I anticipate running a bead of some sort of adhesive caulking, you know, removing the window and the window frame from the fiberglass trailer and recaulking that and then reinstalling it. But I'll keep you posted on that. I need to contact Casita and see if that's available. But again, just a short couple-minute video this week. Hopefully I can throw this in the editor and it will all come out wonderfully. But I hope you have a great week. Stick around. We'll get back at it either later this week. Again, I've got, I don't know, I could make 4 or 5 different videos just on our trip, but I'm going to try to put together something, and then we'll get back to repairing the Casita and preparing for our next trip, which I don't know when and where that's going to happen. So again, I appreciate you watching our marginal content. It's super fun to make these videos. It's a fun hobby, so stick around. I'll do something dumb and I'll record it. Have a great day. Next stop, Boring, Oregon. We're wearing sunglasses because the sun broke out for a hot second. This is the sun in Oregon.